So, your Turbo E36, now you don't know what to do with all these hoses. There's a nipple coming off the blow-off valve. What do I do with it? There's a nipple coming off the turbo. What do I do with it? How do I hook up the wastegate? I'm about to show you all this right now. But first, you've been subscribed here for a minute. You might remember that a long time ago I lost my wide-angle lens. Well, when I had the intake manifold off earlier, I found it. I knew it was somewhere on the engine bay, and took the intake manifold and it was sitting like somewhere like on the throttle, but I got it now. Anyways, I got these vacuum hoses. Where do I put them? Now for me, I added brass fittings to the intake manifold. I think it looks a whole lot cooler and it simplifies things a little bit. Do you have to do it? Not absolutely, but there are some factory locations that I'm going to show you that you can cut in half and add a T to, and that's one way to do it, but I did it this way. But I'm going to show you both ways. All right, let's start off with the easier side first. This is simple. It goes from the turbo directly to the wastegate. Wastegate is kind of under these wires, but it's back there. This is the full CX Racing kit. I'm using most of the CX Racing kit how it comes. I'm changing little bits here and there, but mostly how it comes, and I'll upgrade stuff later. But for right now, CX Racing Turbo. Most turbos will have a port right here on the front. You know, that way when your turbo's making jam, it's making a boost pressure right here. You take that boost pressure and go straight into your wastegate. Wastegates, they're always going to have two ports. There's a port at the bottom, there's a port at the top. This one has a very, very top port right here. I don't have to do anything with that right now. I'll explain in a second. But most of them have a bottom port, and sometimes I'll have it like right here at the top, but right here on the side. But it is technically the top port. But this is directly from CX Racing. These two little things right here. It's like a banjo bolt with a port kind of thing, and you just kind of put them together, screw them in there, put some thread sealing on there to make sure it's like nice and sealed. But that is just how that port comes. And yeah, so thing I did change on this is the one it came with. But this is really small. This port is really small, so I didn't really like that port, especially since I'm going to go directly from here to there. And you notice how this is completely different size. So since it was different size, the hose wasn't that great. So I got the thicker hose. I wish I remember what size it is. I'll put it on the screen. I'll try to figure out what size it is. But yeah, so this is basically, I'm going to go ahead and hook it up now. It'll be kind of temporary just for demonstration purposes, but it's simple. This slides right there. You take this, and I guess I'll just wrap it around this way. I'm not. Look at that. I almost lost my lens again. You see? See? What's wrong? Use this lens. I'm done with it now. Anyways, this is gonna go directly to the wastegate right here at the bottom. And there, that's done. You would put a zip tie or a hose clamp right there. Zip tie or hose clamp right there. There you go. That's as simple as that. So the reason there's two ports on wastegates is because if you want to run a boost controller, whether it's a manual one or electronic one, and you need a boost solenoid to mimic boost, and that way you can up your boost, that goes at the top port. So you would run from here, directly from your turbo, and you would run a T, and then I think it goes to the bottom one, and then the T goes to the boost controller, and then the boost controller to the top port. I think that's how it goes. There's plenty of diagrams if you really want to know. I'll put one on the screen that I can think of real quick. And but yeah, you can easily just Google boost controller diagrams, and you'll see plenty of pictures and simplified explanations on it. But right now I'm going to be running straight wastegate, which I think is an 8-pound spring in here. I guess we'll find out later. And that's it. So I'm not using the top one right now. We're not doing any manual or electronic boost controller right now. So boost controller, that's later. All right, so this side is done. This was literally just from the turbo to the wastegate. That's it, unless you're adding a boost controller, which you're not doing right now. So next step, this side, you need two ports on this side, because you're going to need one that goes to your blow-off valve right here at the top, and then you're going to need another one most likely for a boost gauge. So I don't have a boost gauge yet, so we're gonna have to skip that step, but I'll at least explain some locations. So first off, OEM locations. You have a vacuum hose right here for your brake booster. You can cut that in half, add a T, and you can go from there right to your blow-off valve. Now, me personally, I wouldn't do that, because if something happens, that T breaks, something slips off or something, then you're gonna lose your vacuum going to your brake booster, and you're probably not gonna have that great a brake. So I'd rather stop than go anytime. Another location is hiding under here. Well, this is for an M50 though. So if you have an M50 fuel rail, then there's a stock fuel pressure regulator right here, and that has a vacuum hose coming off to it, and it ports right into the bottom of the intake manifold. You can actually tee that off, and you can use that one to go in your engine bay and make that your boost gauge. So those are the two factory locations you can use if you don't want to do this. Cut here, add a T, cut there, add a T. Again, that's on M50 rails. M52 rails do not have a factory fuel pressure regulator on the rail, so I don't know what you'll do there, but this is M50 intake manifold, M50 rail, and that's what we're doing. For me, I added 2 ports, so I don't have to tee anything off. Now, the location I use is kind of like a factory location, because if you ever seen the back of an intake manifold, it actually has 2 holes there already. For example, here's a stock one. These are the 2 holes I used. Now they look like holes. Nothing actually goes all the way through. I don't know if I can get a camera all the way in there, but it doesn't actually go all the way through. It just kind of goes into a wall, and the wall's about here. But I like to use that location because I think it's good, for one, because it looks cool because it's got factory locations, and 2, it's real thick around there. So when you put it in there, you hammer it in there just to get like the first thread in, then you start twisting it, and then it kind of sits. It's super good. So some other people, they will, I mean, it's pretty sturdy. Some other people, they will just like do brass fittings, and they'll put them here or put them under, but I don't know how thick that is. So I mean, I don't want that to be kind of hollow and just hope it's kind of sits on there. But that one, like I said, you use those locations and hammer it in there and then twist it. It's not, it's not going anywhere. So now that I have those ports, it's going to make it real simple. Like I said, you just plug this directly up to the top, and then I will explain why you need a port for your blow-off valve, and then that goes directly into there. And that's pretty, there, wait, a little bit more. And there, that's done. Now I'm not going to leave this long like that, but for demonstration purposes. But yeah, that's it, directly to there. And then I would do another one for here whenever I get a boost controller. I got to order one. Boost controller line comes right there, and then I'll probably go somewhere down there, and it goes through up by the steering wheel. And then I'll have a boost controller somewhere, boost gauge somewhere up there. But yeah, that's how you run the line. So why do you need this? Well, if you know how blow-off valves work, you're making boost, right? Turbo spooling, you're making boost, psst, and then your throttle's open, you're flooring it, and then as soon as you close your throttle, plat, all that boost is in here and has to go somewhere, right? And it comes out of the blow-off valve. That's the whole purpose of the blow-off valve. Some that don't have blow-off valves, it goes back into the turbo, kind of spins the turbo backwards a little bit and makes that. The reason you want this on here, because you want the boost that you're making in your intake manifold, which is making boost. It's making boost through this line, and it's making boost in here to hold this valve down. So that boost is going to hold that valve down. And then when you let off intake manifold, your pistons are pumping, your intake valves are opening, and it's creating vacuum. So when it's making vacuum, it's sucking. So then it sucks that thing up. So it makes it way more reliable. It doesn't give you any boost leaks, because without this thing being a pump full of boost and forcing this plate down, it's just gonna create boost pressure, and it's just gonna start leaking, and you're not gonna get much boost. So that's gonna be a boost leak location if you don't have this port. This particular CX Racing blow-off valve has 2 ports. This isn't necessary. Some people say you can just route this directly somewhere into one of these locations, and also when it makes boost, it does that too. It's kind of like insurance, but mostly you don't need that one. So I'm just gonna leave that open. You can do whatever you want as long as I'm making boost in here. It's going through this line, keeping that plate closed. Everything's good. So that is how you install boost lines. Hopefully it's simple. That's all I got. All right, so that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. Unfortunately, I don't have a tune, so I can't start the thing up and start revving it so you can hear some cool turbo sounds. Can't wait, but it's coming soon. The MAF I ordered that's been back ordered since April. Got an email a couple days ago that it's actually going to be shipped out next week, early next week. So that's cool. So that'll finally finish the puzzle here, and I will install that, show you guys how to install that. And then I got radiator and fans, which I actually have over there too. I got a relay kit, which I got to figure out. You know, I'm not good with wiring, but after that, then yeah, we'll be able to take this thing out on the road. It's happening. It's really happening, like real soon. So if you learned something today, hit that like button. If you didn't learn something today, I'm sorry. Then I guess you already knew and you just want to see progress. That's cool too. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Deuces.